Hello everyone, my name is Joshua Rudd with Ruddshomefarm. Today we're going to discuss why are grow lights purple. I'll give you a short version and a long version. And if you like this video, go ahead and like, subscribe, all that YouTube stuff, and there's more stuff in the description. But let's get into it. Alright, so 1961, infrared LED was invented. However, it wasn't useful because it was a wavelength that cannot be seen by the human eye. So then next year, 1962, red LED light was invented. 1970s, the green LED light was invented. These were all just like in laboratories, not used for commercial use at all. Okay, so in 1988, which is the year I was born, by the way, NASA was interested in using LED lights to use lights in space to grow plants. They were interested in LEDs because of the low heat and the lower electricity usage. Electricity is very valuable in space. So they used originally a red LED with a blue fluorescent because there was no real heavy use of blue LEDs yet. But in 1990, 2 years later, the blue LED light was invented, and then NASA added those to the grow lights. And bam, there you get your red and your blue. So this is 1990, 30 years ago. All right, 1996, the white LED light was invented. And then in 2000, the first commercial grow lights were available in red, blue only, and were very expensive. So this is before LEDs and fluorescent. People use stuff like high pressure sodium lights. They'd use like incandescent, which was crazy. They use CFL and all these high-powered street light lamps and stuff to grow their plants. But they started using grow lights and LED spectrums and fluorescents. 8 years later, in 2008, the prices come down a little, LED lights, and have become popular. At first, it took a while for LED lights to really become popular. A lot of people were really skeptical about LED lights. However, between 2008 and 2012, you could buy a single LED light bulb for $30. It was very expensive, okay? So people were not interested in buying LEDs. It was like a rich person's purse. Could you imagine a mansion? It was like, yes, I would like to have LED lights installed in my fixtures. Yes. At $30 a piece, you have to be rich. However, between 2012 and today, LED light now replace most other types of light bulbs, and a pack of 12 LED lights costs $10. So it's relatively new. So I would say between 2008 and today, LED lights have become popularized in all the color spectrums. White, yellow, you can get these little you can get bulbs that have any color. You could put a blue, green, red, yellow, orange, whatever, and you could just add on your phone and stuff. I mean, just remember, in 2003, people were still using flip phones. Like now, I see little 4-year-olds with smartphones now. Like you even know how to unlock it and face recognition, and they're like, so technology is kind of making this big giant curve upwards. So honestly, the ideals behind LED lights and using LEDs is still kind of new. So if people are like really hard set, well, you got to use purple, you know, red is for vegging and blue is for, no, red is for flowering and blue is for vegging. You just have to understand that this technology is rapidly evolving, and sometimes it takes people some while to catch up to it. And that kind of like overlaps into my second point of the concepts are old. So in 1988, it was understood that, if you wanted to have flowers, you would put red light, and if you wanted to plant the veg, you would use blue light. However, if you only use red light or blue light, one or the other, then the plant would not grow healthily very well. It would either be leggy, or it would just stretch, or there'd be issues. Elbow Pepper, and whom I will link in the description, does a great video where he tests each spectrum of light, red only, blue only, and then purple, and he sees the difference between the plants. I highly recommend Elbow Pepper. He takes a long time and spends a lot of work on his videos, and they are really good. Alright, so plants need a full diet of light. Okay, imagine light being like your diet. I researched this before, but supplements. I thought, hey, if you could actually just eat all the vitamins and minerals and proteins that you need, could you survive off of pills? Like you take a protein pill, you take a vitamin pill, you take this pill, and it's like, no, you would actually get malnourished and have issues if you just take pills. So I think it's the same thing it's definitely the same thing as plants. It's like plants are used to complex nutrients, right? When you eat a piece of meat, there's dozens of things in there. When you eat some broccoli, there's dozens of vitamins and nutrients in there. And then plants are designed to filter what they need, use all of it, filter out what they need. But there's lots of tests showing that, including I did one where I did a purple light. I did this light versus a white light. You can check that video out. I'll link it at the end. But pretty much it's just you get a better plant. Your plant is healthier. They're designed for the sun. Like they've been growing outside for thousands of years. The reason for artificial grow light is to replicate the sun, because you cannot do better than sunlight. It's like the concept is, well, I can get bigger flowers and better flowers if I add more red light or something, or if I have more blue light, I can get a bigger vegetable. It's like, no, you just need to give sunlight, because the plant knows what it's doing. Like it's designed, they are built for sunlight. So you want to replicate with your artificial lights as close to sunlight as possible. And again, this is a new concept, because lights like these, which are like even yellow, is kind of like unheard of. Like that's my VivoSun grow light. It's got white lights, it's got yellow, it's got red in there to kind of get the whole spectrum of lights. But yeah, now fast forward to like today, 2021, you would notice the shift. I noticed the shift like when I started maybe 2 years ago. Like you would mainly see purple lights, mainly purple. But now, and like this one over here, this one has yellow as well, so it's not just red and blue. There's like white in there too. So, and now you're seeing mainly these types. So the industry is starting to catch up. So you're kind of seeing this less and less, and this is mainly to understand that, hey, some people just are dead set on buying purple light LEDs, and if you're willing to pay for it, we'll sell it to you. So, but honestly, stick with a white or a sunlight LED lights. Or it could be a combination of multiples. Here, I'll show you this one here. So I bought this light maybe 2 years ago. So you have like a yellowish light, and then you also have a red light, and you have blue lights. So that one has a better diet than I would just say just white. Because the sun, these are just white. So the sun is not white. That means it's more blue than red, and so a bluish light is okay for vegging plants like lettuce and stuff like that. You can see that these have only had white lights and are doing just fine. Lettuce and stuff like that. But if you have flowering plants, like my tomatoes over here, you can see that this one has a lot more yellow and red. You can see it's got red LED lights, it's got sunlight, it's got a couple of white ones, but it's mainly yellower and redder. So it's all about what you're growing, but you want to stay in, you don't want to just have just red and purple. That's old technologies, and there's newer and better stuff out there for you. So enjoy it, and I hope you see you in the next video. Bye-bye.